Because the Rebbe says what he means. The Rebbe means what he says. Listen, the Rebbe says, tut ja der eine raus, was kennt bringen Mashiach. Do what you could do. Don't sit and cry. Another Yid with film. I never miss a day putting on film with at least one Yid. On the planes that I fly back and forth once a month. In the lounges. Not an easy business. Not an easy business, but you do what you got to do. Tut ja der eine raus, was kennt bringen Mashiach. One more woman using a mikveh. One more neshek. One more mimer of the Rebbe. One more tefillin. One more mezuzah. That's what it takes. That's a skashrus. That is what ties us to our Rebbe.
If you've been enjoying this podcast, please like and subscribe so that others can enjoy it as well. In addition, if you've benefited in any way from Among Chassidim podcast and would like to give something back, you can do so today at derher.org/donate. I'm Yossi Kamen. Welcome to Among Chassidim by Derher, an ongoing farbrengen about life as a chassid, our vibrant connection with the Rebbe, and inspired living shaped by the way he teaches us each and every day. A gute Woche, Rabbi Cunin. How are you?
Baruch Hashem, fine.
Okay, Yashakech for being here. I know you're here at Shabbos Mevarchim, but thank you for making the time to talk to me.
It's my pleasure, because the hair plays a very important part of the Rebbe's wonderful, wonderful continuing leadership. Because the hair helps people to understand that we are never alone. Because the Rebbe is the best tati in the world, in all of history. No good tati, no good father would leave his children alone. So the Rebbe set it up, a special system. How Chabad Lubavitch should go forward. And that, one of the most important things was bochurishe Chabad. My grandfather, Menachem Mendel Cunin, one of the founders of Chabad in America, was part of the first bochurishe Chabad and put up a lot of money to buy 770. Bochurishe Chabad has always been, from the earliest days of its existence, with the understanding that we are servants of our Rebbe. And what the Rebbe wants from us is what we do. We have no own eigene chushim and beliefs, la 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 la, azay and azay and azay and azay. We follow the directives of our Rebbe. And when you follow the directives of our Rebbe, then you don't go lost. That's as simple as that. My first situation with bochurishe Chabad, I was in 770, which I come Baruch Hashem very often. Now I come every Shabbos Mevarchim, many years already. Rabbi Chotikov was looking for me. I go into the Mecca's office, you never know what that means. To an agatel. I say, yes. Der Rebbe hat die Mann gewöhnt, so bochurishe Chabad. Das gebe ich dir Rebbe in Rebbe's Namen. The Rebbe is the one who appointed you now, so bochurishe Chabad. I give it over to you in the name of our Rebbe.
Do you remember when that was?
Many, many years ago.
It was after the Svarim.
Huh?
It was after the story of the Svarim.
Much before.
Before.
You're talking about the Svarim?
Not the Svarim in Russia. The Svarim.
Now you mean?
Yeah, with the library here.
No, no. It was after.
It was after that. Okay, so let me ask you a few questions. We'll go back to bochurishe Chabad soon. So you mentioned that your Zayda was part of bochurishe Chabad in America, and I want to know about your early years and your early connection to the Rebbe, like where you're from and your first interactions with the Rebbe.
My initial meeting with the Rebbe was at a farbrengen, Chalamei Tzukis. I was a young little kid.
Where were you living?
I was living in Bronx, New York.
Bronx.
I was born in the Bronx. My father was born in Manhattan. I'm a third-generation American. But my whole family has always been connected to the Rebbe. All the Mendel Cunin, because that is the source of tzedakah. It was before the crash in 1929, the stock market crash. And my Zaidi made his money from the stock market. He gave away riziki geld.
He was a Lubavitcher chassid.
Lange board, of course.
Right, from Russia.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever the case is, he takes me by the hand. We're going to go now to the Rebbe in some Sunday to the Fabring. That's the first time I was with the Rebbe. Then we were going to public school, PS 114. Why? Because Zayde Mendel, together with Zayde Mordcha, also Langer Board, a chassid in Philadelphia, they went to see the one school, and what there was in the Bronx for Yiddish Kinderlach. So they said, before we send the children there, I was much younger, we're going to go and see ourselves what it looks like. They told the people we're going to be here for a day, then we'll make a decision. They sat there for a few hours. They said, bye-bye, thank you. What did they figure out? That unfortunately these teachers were the bochurishe from Europe originally. And not only that, they smacked the kids. Get up, sit down, shut up! They said, the Kinder seien da, weil sie auswachsen Antisemiten. The children will be here. They're going to grow up to be anti-Semites. So what he did was, Shawn Mendel Simpson, Oliver Shawn, was hired to come to the Bronx, teach me and my brother a few times a week after we finished in public school. Public school, we went with big yarmulkes, directly across the street from my house. And that's how the first time I met with someone who was really involved on a day-to-day basis,
Shawn Mendel.
which was Rabbi Simpson. Then, I was 11 years old. My brother Pinchas Oliver Sholem was going to be 12. And we go in to see the Rebbe. So Deb looks up at my mommy, and my mother, which today is her yahrzeit, Rachel Cunin, very close to the Rebbe. The Rebbe treated her as his own daughter. She asked the Rebbe questions in the letters. Should my children take hay fever shots to stop the allergies? Simple things, back and forth. My mama, Laura Sholem, would sit by the piano and play in the Bronx. Tears would come down on her face. Mama, why are you crying? She wouldn't say anything. Finally, one time, as we were growing up, I said, Mama, please, you have to share the information with us. She started to cry. She said, I never wanted you to know. But all of my family, my brothers and sisters and their children, were all killed by the Germans. My father, Mordcha Wilsker, got for them passports, got for them all papers necessary to come to America, citizenship, everything. And we see the letters. He sent them letters, come. I'm going to send you the documents. Zayda, don't worry about it. Nothing's going to happen. We're in Warsaw. It's going to be good. He writes another letter, Badir, come to America. Another letter comes back, we are not coming. He sends another letter, Betzerbaich. That's the last letter they received before all of them were killed. So this is the background where I come from. We met, my Rebbe and myself, because of the Rebbe. What happened? In America then was a breakdown of Yiddishkeit. If you didn't work on Shabbos, you couldn't make a living. Very, very bad. There were Yidden that said, I'd rather die a Misa Gashmias in Europe than die a Misa Ruchnias in America. That's what America was about. My Zadie Wilsker in Philadelphia told my mommy, I want to ask from you a few things when you're to get married. Number one, he has to put on tefillin every day. Number two, he has to keep Shabbos, he has to keep kosher, and you will have to go to the mikveh. And if you don't keep these four things, don't come crying, come to schmachken at my levaya. Don't come crying by my funeral and then by my kever. That's what America looked like. So both of them came to the boat to meet the Shudar of the Friedrich Rebbe.
Who?
His name was Motel Chepetz, if I remember correctly.
Right.
Maybe make a mistake. And they met each other, the Beider Zadis met each other at the boat. They looked at their beards, they said, wer bist du? Ich habe eine Tochter. Sie said, ich habe einen Mann. Lass mich Chassan machen. That's how America looked like. That's how I came into the picture. That's how our family came. So he now by the Rebbe. And the Rebbe looks up at my mommy and says, now is the time they will have to go to the yeshiva, better than Dean. Mama says, it's very far away. The Rebbe says, we have a dormitory. We're in the dormitory. My mama said, but doesn't meine zwei Augen. This is my two eyes. How can I be away from them? So the Rebbe starts. The Rebbe says, first and foremost, you will go Sunday morning, you will go Monday morning by train to the yeshiva. There you'll get a room. You'll be Sunday. You'll go on Sunday on the train. You'll be Monday alone. Tuesday, you will come, the Rebbe is saying this, to bring sandwiches to them and take care of that, which we did. Now, so you've seen them already Sunday before they left. Now, the Rebbe is saying this. Now you're seeing them on Tuesday because you're going to them. So you have Wednesday and Thursday, you wouldn't see them. Friday, they're coming home.
Shabbos.
For Shabbos. So isn't this something that could work? That's my introduction to Unser Rebbe. How he takes. How we took the time to take two little kids and handle them as if they were mamish's kinder, which we are. That's my beginning. From there, from Bedford and Dean, I then went to Newark and Grumman Avenue as one of the Talmidim there, from there to 770. Then 60 years ago, 60 years ago, we went to the Rebbe. My Rebbetzin was then 17 years of age. Oder mein Bas Bumalea, who should have a for Shlema Okrevel. And the Rebbe said, that it's the father of Shlichus in California.
This is in the Yechidus before marriage.
Huh?
This is in the Yechidus before your marriage?
This is in the Yechidus before we got married, correct.
Mm-hmm.
We got married in December, and Nissen, nach noch Pesach is when we went to Shlichus. So then the Rebbe looked up, and the Rebbe said, Shlomo signed them in ganz California. My parents were in the same Yechidus with us.
So it's einem in ganz
Einem in ganz California.
Conquer whole California.
In the 60s, we would not say capture, we would say liberate. Because those were the 60s. You say words capture, you're finished. And that's what happens. That's how we land now in Los Angeles. Rabbi Ratchik was here, Allah Sham Shmuel David. His job was to work with the Holocaust survivors, many of them who were drifting away from Yiddishkeit, their families destroyed. he would travel to other cities to do the same. It wasn't his job to build moisdus. So when the Rebbe sent us, we're people of action. As soon as we hit the ground, we said, where is that place we can be for Shabbos? Oh, Young Israel. Spalding and Melrose. Not far from where we were living, in the Fairfax district. So my Rebbe was very good with artwork. She made a drawing. Shabbos party. Children, no charge. Candy, songs, sodas, free of charge. This is the address. She made a beautiful list.
To your house?
Huh?
To your home?
No, to Young Israel.
Young Israel, okay.
To Young Israel. We stood by the doors of the kids coming out. We gave it to them. Candies, soda. Baruch Hashem. Must have had 20 girls upstairs in the Bible shul with my Rebbetzin, and at least that amount with me downstairs. Baruch Hashem. That's how we started.
Mm-hmm. I have a question for you. I'm just going to step one step back before California. When you were a bacher, you spoke about from when you were a child, this connection, like a father to a child that you felt with the Rebbe. How did you? Was this the same feeling when you were bachrim, and was there like an involvement that you had, like a child to the Rebbe?
It only kept getting stronger and stronger and stronger. Because you see, many people didn't have the understanding that the Rebbe needs something begashmias. So the Rebbe would come, and it would be a snowstorm. So the car couldn't come in to the service lane of Eastern Parkway. So the Rebbe would have to walk out from 770 down the stairs, and then the Rebbe would have to go to get to 770 to walk on the sidewalk in the snow. But we knew that the streets were being swept. So I got a snow machine.
Like a snow plower.
I bought a snow machine that a snow blower is like, looks like a lawnmower. And what I would do is clear the way. I have a Lipsky and a few of the other Bachim worked with me to clear the way to be able to have a way that Rebbe could walk. We would do the stairs of 770. We'd always wait more or less to when the Rebbe is coming out, clean the stairs quickly, and then hide yourself. You don't stand with your face like this. One time the Rebbe decided to come out a little bit early. I'm there with a snowblower, blowing snow. Thank God that the funnel was where the Rebbe took yesterday, to that direction. It had its own traction with its wheels. I see the Rebbe coming, was no staying between Ponim and Rebbe. So I put my face in the snow. The machine is still going forward. Still going forward on its own. And then my face is like this into the snow, and then I feel something. The Rebbe's looking. Abreite Schmeichel. So this is all good. So we would then go when necessary, but the Rebbe would walk from 770 to Kingston Avenue down to where the Rebbe had the apartment, Rebbe Sechana. Mm-hmm. So we would clean the way the whole way. And that's when cars couldn't go. If like this, the Rebbe would go with cars. We just have to clean the steps. But this time when cars couldn't go. So that's what we did. Then became the question, what's the Shabbos? What's going to be Shabbos? Terrible storm. I gathered together a group of Linzer Chaveim and said, we have to have only Shabbos, the Shabbos. I want a lot of hot water. They had an apartment. And before 676 Eastern Park, come out near the corner of Brooklyn Avenue. This was the Jaffe and Yaffe, the English people with hot water they had. So you have to prepare a lot of hot water because we're going to have a gewaltige Eilig Shabbos. The Eilig Shabbos is that we will go for a walk in Shabbos in the snow. What could be more happy than going for a Shabbos to go walk? I got a group of the Chaverim. We went upstairs, got a lot of hot water, and we started walking. Kingston Avenue, and then we crossed the street, because then the streets were being plowed, so there would be no problem that they would walk on the street. All of a sudden, a snowplow was coming, which pushes around us. All the stepping that we stepped, now we're stuck on the corner of Brooklyn Avenue and Eastern Parkway. So I said, Chavre, Gilgul Shalik. This was something on the ground. Eilig Shabbos. Stuff like this. Like was at the oil. The Rebbe would stand in the water. How could you let the Rebbe stand in the water?
They would the water would come up in the cold.
I'm talking about now going to the oil.
Yeah, at the oil there was like puddles
of
water.
Oil, the Rebbe would originally the Rebbe would put the packages on the wall. At the wall, the packages are getting bigger, and the Rebbe's always looking from the little room. The Rebbe's balancing them. I took my life in my hands. I got my Remmel Lipska helped me. We built a board like this with clips, with background piece of plywood. Put two pieces of wood holding it on the wall, and said a tefillah with Mission Shliach of California is not an easy story.
Right.
It doesn't work that way. But you gotta do. Then we walked in, we watched it from the corner, then puts the peklach on the board, then it takes another little bag or so to put in torn off piece he wants to take back with him, using the clips as if it was always there.
Clips, yeah.
Huh?
They had like clips to put the bag.
Yeah, use the clips to hold these bags, and the other bags will lie just on top of the board.
And the Rebbe just used it as if it was always...
So very easy to go.
The Rebbe used it as if it was always there. The Rebbe just used it.
As if it was always there. Mm-hmm. Then, the next step is it got to be too small. So I built a bigger one. Bigger walls. Ultimately, both of them ended up by me. Because when they went to put in, when we used to put in the second board, the first board was surplus. Then when they made that little booth, that would be worthless again. It wasn't necessary. But then we see the Rebbe standing in water with the sneakers, ice water. Again, you take your life in your hand when you play at the oil. We got 2x6s, pieces of lumber, 2x4s, and built a little platform this high. Shaking. How do you do something like this? Rebbe walked in, stood on the board perfectly, just the way it's supposed to be. Then there was a fire at the oil, with the Rebbe with not knowing how to connect the propane gas from the tank to the heater that was put in to warm.
You were involved with putting in the heater also?
No.
No, that's not good.
The heater, and there was also a encasement of plywood and metal. So now somebody else was driving the Rebbe because he wasn't capable.
Because he got injured when he
was injured.
Mm-hmm.
The other person, what Rabbi Shlomo would do is hold when it would rain or snow, he would hold the umbrella over the Rebbe, right next to where the Rebbe was reading the settler. The other Tyree command that drove the Rebbe thought he'll do the same thing. The Rebbe was not good. So the Rebbe then goes and walks under the roof that there is at the oil. There's a granite roof. Mm-hmm. Not in the section that's covered completely, but before that. It's still there today. Mm-hmm. The Rebbe walks standing his feet in ice water.
You see, the Rebbe moved to a different area that's covered because it was.
That's correct.
Right. Okay, but then the Rebbe's in the puddle, right?
What do? The Rebbe's standing in ice water. One side says, "How dare you? How dare you?" The Rebbe's there with the Rebbe the shred. How dare you? The other side, the Rebbe steht in Eiswasser. Why? What are you talking about? Go. I take the breath of shaking. I walk by the Rebbe. The Rebbe is completely with the Rebbe the shred. I walk right by the eyesight. Nothing. I walk back now in front of the Rebbe. Nothing. Then I start to shake. What am I going to do? I took a deep breath. I took the board. I walked right in front of the Rebbe. The Rebbe steht in Eiswasser. Ich will weglegen den Brettel. The Rebbe looked up. Oh. Took 2 steps back. Stood on the board. And why am I sharing all of this? You asked me before, what's the youth? What's a bocher? What's all these things is? You have to know. Skashers from Rebbe, to be tied to our Rebbe, it starts off with you. And when you take the first step, the Rebbe then takes you by the hand. But you have the responsibility to tie yourself to the Rebbe. How do you do it today? So many years have gone by. How do you do it? Just do it. If the Rebbe wanted, the Rebbe could appoint someone to do whatever he wanted. He didn't appoint, he appointed committees, like a Gudas Chasidei Chabad. He appointed committees. I told you the story about Friday night with the Gattel, right? When Chodakov called me. I told you that story. That's how I got involved.
Right.
It was a Gudas Chasidei Chabad that fought the first case against that gentleman, I don't want to even say that, who stole from downstairs.
From the Svarim.
And now the Rebbe is talking about a Fabring, and nobody knew what it's about. The Rebbe starts to scream, Boy Avant! Boy Avant! Shabbos! Boy Avant! So everybody thinks, Boy Avant. How do you Boy Avant in Shabbos? If you're connected, you know what to do. I took a folding chair upstairs, up the wooden stairs, by the door, where the librarian, who was a dear friend of mine, told the story, would go in, sat on the chair. Shlomo, was tust du da? What are you doing here? Ich sitz da, die nicht da reinlassen. Was, Shlomo, du heuchet? Ich lass die nicht da rein, talk her up von that. Because the Rebbe says what he means. The Rebbe means what he says. Korrekt listen, the Rebbe says, tut ja der eine raus, was can't bring Mashiach. Do what you could do. Don't sit and cry. Another Yid with film. I never miss a day putting on film with at least one Yid. On the planes that I fly back and forth once a month. In the lounges. Not an easy business. Not an easy business, but you do what you got to do. Tut ja der eine raus, was can't bring Mashiach. One more woman using a mikveh, one more neshek, one more mimer of the Rebbe, one more tefillin, one more mezuzah. That's what it takes. That's a skashers. That is what ties us to our Rebbe. And when you are tied, you always see the Rebbe's hand. Never, ever alone.
So I have a question for you. You're talking about never, ever alone. So I know that everyone knows the story of the Shliach of California. We've all been exposed to it, the telethon and other things like that. But it didn't happen in one day. And you started talking about you and your Rebbetzin, how you started off. But I think right away, a few months later or a year later, you're already bringing people to the Rebbe and starting the Pu'ulis in a big way in California. So maybe you can tell me a little bit how that happened and the Rebbe's reaction to what you were doing in California.
I could be here for 3 weeks to talk.
Well, we'll try what we can.
I'll give you an example.
Among Chassidim is brought to you by Chassidische Der Herr. We live in a chaotic world. A world where for us Chassidim, as a seinu, lei ra'inu, we do not have the ability to hear and see the Rebbe on a daily basis. Yet we know that the Rebbe is very much with us, and the Chassidus Chabad is alive and thriving more than ever before. One needs to only tap into it. Chassidische Der Herr provides you and your family with the tools necessary to tap into all of this. Whether it's the monthly magazine, the way it all began, whether it's Der Herr books, Der Herr online content, and so much more. Men, women, and children throughout the world benefit and use these tools on a daily basis. Whether it's children enjoying the children's magazine that comes along with the regular derher, or enjoying the children's podcast, whether it's Bachrim in yeshivas receiving the derher, whether it's girls in high schools enjoying their hair club in their local high school. People all over the world and from all walks of life enjoy and utilize these tools and take advantage of it. If you're not already subscribed to the Derher Monthly Magazine, do so today at derher.org. That's derher.org. Derher is a dynamic organization which is committed to continue providing these tools, grow on a constant basis, and do all that we can to help this effort. Baruch Hashem, it takes a lot of resources and finances to make this all happen. You can be part of Derher through your financial support as well, through visiting our website derher.org, or through contacting us to setting up a meeting. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the podcast.
I take everything the Rebbe says literally. So it's Ayin Aleph Mosdus, right? Shnas Hashivim from the Rebbe.
The Rebbe said, Tafshalam Beis,
Tafshalam
7 years
Beis.
to make 71.
As even besorgt, and people are saying that I should retire, will ich haben a matana, Ayin Aleph Mosdus, 71 new institutions. By the way, I scribble a little note. I stood next to Meir Halakol, easy to pass things up. Only me and my Rebbe can understand my writing. Peter has it, I want to settle, ich nehme sich unter 10%.
10% of the 71 institutions.
10% of the 71 new institutions. Baruch Hashem. There was one young man that was there. We had bought already before that, for the Rebbe's birthday, we bought a little crown for the Rebbe Sefer Torah. Like this with no crowns, only a Mashiach Sefer Torah. I spoke to Rabbi Gono, you have any idea? He said, why not try a kesser? So handmade from 3 different ksorim, beautiful little kesser.
For the Rebbe's Torah.
For the Rebbe Sefer Torah, when we went to the Rebbe, we gave it to the Rebbe as a matana. The kesser. Then I brought with already a younger man that was in one of the cities in California, working for a different Mossad. I said, you keep saying you want to go off shlichus. You want to go off shlichus? Come with me. If you don't talk with me. I'm ready, okay? Going to the Rebbe, I introduced him as the first shliach already.
You brought him into the Rebbe?
Into the Yichidus. I took him with me.
Ah.
Shaking like this, he was. Took him in. That was the first shliach of the 71. Moses that we needed. And we created, by the time we were finished, we did 12 new Moses. Not so much Neuflim, like Kufim, Mabish Harumim. What the Rebbe says, he means. What the Rebbe means, he says, there's no such thing as Vat Kavod Primius. The Rebbe gesagt Azei, aber gemeint hat Azei. What the Rebbe says, he means. What the Rebbe says, he does, and you will do. That's the first step in all of this. So then, we opened up in 1 year 12 Moses, not 7, as far as that's concerned. A mobile mitzvah tank, different cities, Asmanica, Berkeley, real places with Shluchim, Fairfax Avenue, Shluchim all over. Each time we go into the Rebbe to give a key. They give a key. One time Rebbe Chotekov says the Rebbe was bringing a photographer. The Rebbe wanted that we should a photographer should take a picture of what's giving him the key. In the Yichidus room. The Rebbe looks at the key, and the Rebbe says, Shlomo, ich kenne es bei dir nicht nehmen. I start to shake. Ich kenne es bei dir nicht nehmen. The Rebbe smiles. Hast du da geschrieben? We're talking about San Diego, which we call today S. Diego. Hast du da geschrieben? Samach Aleph Nun, we kenne nicht.
The Rebbe didn't want to take it because it said San.
Huh?
The Rebbe didn't want to receive it because it said on it San.
Sie sagen, wenn Antisemiten. Wenn hast du bei vorne, wenn der Rebbe testen. Stand the dancer. Aber wer ist getracht worden? Der Rebbe sagt, morgen in der Früh. Judel, bring Scotch right. And the Rebbe nimmt mit der heilige Hand, tears apart little pieces of paper, which I still have. Put on A-N, a little piece. Aleph Nun, a little piece. Then the heilige hand tears off a piece of the tape, tapes up Ayin Nun, tapes off A-N. Jetzt kann es bei dir nehmen. Yes. Well, I could sit here all week, not just all night. But many, many stories like this. And then in the first year, we raised millions of dollars. We bought buildings. The first year of Shnas HaShivim.
Oh, Shnas HaShivim, okay.
We raised millions of dollars, but still we're not $200,000 in debt. I never asked the Rebbe for money. You go into Yechidus, the Rebbe looks at the report. Moshe Hashem, that's some Geld.
Did the Rebbe saw the report of the financials?
He never read the zettel, but no, when the zettel would talk about money.
Uh-huh. So
the Rebbe was checking this zettel. I go like this. People, that's the 200.
You shook your head that you need 200,000.
Huh?
You shook your head that, yes, 200,000.
Yeah, the Rebbe says, I said, Kom, Shlomo, they give him the Geld. I'll give you the money. The Rebbe opens up the holy drawer and starts to count money. I started to shake. I walk over, the Rebbe goes like this. I come over. Der breite Schmeichel, der Rebbe says, Shlomo, das ist nur $1,000. Es verkaufen jeder Star, each bill, which was $100, for $20,000. Mit dem müsst ihr haben 200,000.
So Rebbe is telling you to sell each $100 bill for $20,000.
For $20,000.
That's $200,000.
That's good. You have 200,000. You have a munah. You do with a munah. You don't believe. You gotta believe. So I called up the other driver, a bottle of Crown Royal. There was no Gezeda then. A shtickle lekach. Went to the first gear. I tell him, so what is it you need? He says, money. You know I don't need. But my granddaughters are going out with goyim, marrying horses, very wealthy girls. They're going to marry goyim. You know, I'm not Orthodox, but to marry goyim? What are their names? Call up on the phone. Always there on the line from my cell phone. Ich habe zugesagt. Ich habe der first bill zugesagt, also sie will Kassen haben für Jeden und sie will dann Firma. They'll become more religious and marry Yidden. Next one. Another person called Roland Danal. That's his name I'm saying. You could use it even in the article. Roland Danal, who was really fighting for existence in real estate development. Very, 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 very dangerous steps he would be doing. I walked in. I said, what is it you need from the Rebbe? What do you mean you know what I need? I need millions of dollars. Look, see this bill? We'll start off with, you'll give me a check for $20,000, and I guarantee you at least 100 times as much. Would you put this in writing? I'll have my secretary type it up. I said, of course. Call up the Rebbe, zugesagt, der und der und der. Also soll sein 100 Mal mit dem ganzen Geld, was wir mir sagen. 100 Mal. And I start to shake. Okay, 20,000, 100 Mal, a lot of money. Yeah, the Rebbe said, called him up. He became a multi-gazillionaire. And likewise with all the rest of the stories.
Wow.
Everything what we asked for, we got. Period. There's more stories. I'll be here for a week. But that's a fact. So what does it come down to? It comes down to belief. If you don't believe, how do you walk into a big career and tell him a story, write him a letter guaranteeing him on paper? How do you do this? How do you tell a guy who never kept kosher or anything else that his wife was worse than him? She was from Bialystok in Russia. She's proud to say that my Zayda would smoke a big cigar right in front of the shul because he had nothing to do. Fast forward, A few months later, she said, what did you do? He already had died from them, Rachlan. That was the name. What did you do? What's the you talk? I want to talk to you. What did you do to my granddaughters? I said, why did you ask? They would always come to my house to eat. This time they came. They don't want to eat. I said, why aren't you eating? Because the house is not kosher. What did you do? And they married Pasha Trumi Yidden. They live in Eretz Yisrael. V'chulu, v'chulu, v'chulu. That's what it's all about. And today is more important than ever before. There never was in history such a time as this time. Now is the time. That's why Agudas Chassidei Chabad comes in to this picture. It's Agudas Chassidei Chabad who filed a lawsuit with their Budel. The first one dealing with the Higas Svarim here that was stolen from the library here. And we had the Schus. Incredible story. That was talking about for many, many years ago. That was talking about Verbrengen. I thought I would get you a pamphlet that tells a lot of these stories. That was this by Verbrengen. They said they was haben Ksharim international, so it's nutzen for the Gutes. Those who have international connections should use it for the good. We're still human. You look around. Nobody there that looks like he would have this connection. Makes no difference. In the morning, my phone is ringing. Cunin! Jerry Weintraub. He was the chairman of my telephone. Cunin! The Rebbe spoke to me. Tell him I'm ready. I said, do me a favor, Jerry. I don't talk to the Rebbe.
What does it mean the Rebbe spoke to him?
He was in California.
Yeah.
He said the Rebbe spoke to me. I will do what he wants me to do.
So he was watching the Verbrengen.
Huh?
He was watching the...
We'll soon come to that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, with Thompson, he didn't put on. I can guarantee you. I said, Jerry, I can't really do that. You have to give me some more information. He said, I was playing with my satellite dish. And as I'm clicking, the Rebbe's talking. And then the Rebbe's talking about who has international connections, should use him. I knew the Rebbe meant me. That's why I'm calling you. Tell the Rebbe. So I don't talk to the Rebbe. I will ask the Budel to explain this to the Rebbe in the car. It's very difficult. As I say, I like this Rabbi Thompson. Whatever the case is, I figure before the Rebbe goes home, I'll tell it to Yudel, he'll tell the Rebbe in the car. By Mincha, the Rebbe is looking at me. Looking and looking and looking and looking. Okay. Then finished Mincha, I walked to the hallway. The Rebbe is looking for me. The Rebbe will design. Meister Shahoyer, Kach Hoyer. The Rebbe wants to see you. Meister Shahoyer, Kach Hoyer. The Rebbe is standing by the door. And the Rebbe is Sachen in Russland beiten sich. Things are changing in Moshe. Du hast a guter Freund. Sein Name is Jerry Weintraub. You ask the question, I'm answering you. Sein Name is Jerry Weintraub. Hat a guter Chaver. Sein Name is Armin Hammer. Armin Hammer spielt auf beide Seiten. He plays both sides.
Who was...
Armin Hammer was one of the wealthiest Jews in the world.
He was a businessman.
Occidental Petroleum units all over the world.
So the Rebbe says that Weintraub has a friend.
Has a friend called Armin Hammer.
Who plays on both sides.
Und ist on both sides with Russia and America. Sachen beiten sich. Soll Weintraub reden mit Hammer und wird kennen bekommen das Svarim.
The Svarim that are in Russia.
The Weintraub should talk to Dr. Hammer, and then Dr. Hammer will get the books.
The books that from the Rebbeim that are in Russia.
Yeah. And the Rebbe said, andere sagen, meaning the man from downstairs, as Motats verbrannt was burnt, aber ich weiß das nicht, I know it's not so.
People in Russia, they said that the Svarim...
Not in Russia. The person who worked in the library here said according to his information, it was all burnt in Kiev.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was Kiev. So nicht, as the Rebbe says. Then, how do you do this? Weintraub had a big castle in Beverly Hills. He says, you are going to come Friday night to me for a Friday night dinner together with Dr. Hammer and me. So I don't go to a place that's not kosher. What do you mean? That's exactly that. I said, I can kosher your kitchen. So, but what do you do with the plates? I said, the plates, we'll have to use paper plates. Use paper plates in my house? If that's the case, I'll buy regular glass plates. No, you're not going to do that. Wait a second, he says. I have brand new plates that have my initials on them, JW, because they agreed to do for themselves. So we'll take brand new plates, and that will be used for the Friday night dinner. Can we kosher your kitchen? Yes, he didn't know what he was getting into, which we did. And we had one of our people there watching over, so saying everything good. Friday night comes, introduces me to Hammer. And I knew this was a chance. This was a chance. By the way, I'm missing a point in the story, which I'm going to go back to for a second before that. So then the Rebbe gives me, going back to where the Rebbe was talking to me at the door. So after the Rebbe said, Weintraub oder Chave, the Rebbe said, not the $18 for Weintraub, so I'll have my refuah shleima.
The Rebbe gave $18.
Rebbe said, he's $18 for Weintraub, he should have a refuah shleima, a full recovery. Not the fadir $18 for you, for me. I take the Rebbe's words very, very serious. Like the Rebbe says, taught you that ain't assholes, they can't bring a Mashiach. That's exactly what the Rebbe means. Ich gebe es even, Eich, tot alles, was ihr kennt. That's what the Rebbe means. That's what the Rebbe says. Clearly. So whatever the case is, I land in California. I call his very dear friend, chairman of the telephone. I call Beverly Hills Mansion, no answer. Call a cell phone, no answer. I call the castle in Rancho Mirage. Somebody picks up the phone. I say, I have to talk to him. You can't talk to him. I said, what do you mean I can't? Of course I can. You will not talk to him. He's not able to talk to you now. Something's wrong. I go into George Ekanheim, Al Vashon. Grace Gvir, a dear friend of his. Georgia, tell me, what's going on with Jerry? So it's a secret. Jerry had hiatal hernia, very severe, that needed a very, very important operation. Nobody knows. He's in the hospital at Sinai, but it's not under his name. You'll never find him. So, okay, thank you. I go to the hospital. Rebbe, you have to help me now. How am I going to find him? So I go to the emergency room. Do you know someone by the name of Weintraub? No. Then a Russian nurse who came from Russia as a nurse, now working in the hospital, says to me in Russian, what do you want? I said, I want a person that came in with hiatal hernia, which needs to have a surgery, and I have to see him. By the way, I'm his rabbi. She says, 1 second, goes upstairs. He's coming soon out of the recovery room. Jump to the elevator, get off. As he's coming out of the recovery room, I said, Jerry, he opens his eyes. Cunin, give me the Rebbe's money. Can you understand this? You can't.
Yeah.
So that's how the whole shlichus'n with the Svarim started. Then the Rebbe said, when we went, we saw that we had to take home shlichus'n there. So the Rebbe said, it was myself, it was Nissim Mendel Shalom, it was from the library, Shalom by 11, and that's how we went.
The Rebbe sent you to retrieve the Svarim from Russia?
Yeah, sent us on the shlichus'n to find the Svarim.
To find them, because we didn't even know
to
if they
find
existed.
and get them, everything.
Right.
So the Rebbe said, Azevi said the Chaint, I don't remember which day, in Chodesh Tevis, fort mit euch mit der Rambam. Und Azevi, bald des Chavdalet Tevis, fort mit euch mit the Alter Rebbe. I took a deep breath. Azevi the Rebbe is the Mishalech. Fort mit uns dem Rebbe. The Rebbe said, oh man, That's how the Shlichus of the started. All built on Emunah. That's what I could sit here for a week, but that's at least the beginning of a story. Agudas Chabad is the one. Soon that we had orders from the Rebbe to start Agudas Chabad. Soon as we came to Moscow, which we are the members. Myself, Rabbi Levin.
Agudas Chabad of Russia.
Yeah, of Russia. Rabbi later was Aronov.
But there was this was by the second. There was a second shlichus, right? Is that when that happened?
Right, so that's correct. So that's how Agudas Chabad.
Why was there a second shlichus?
Huh?
Why? I'm saying what happened during the
I
first
could be here
shlichus?
for a week. We have to talk about Agudas Chabad. So that goes back to the fight that still goes on today. We ultimately went second time, which Rabbi Aronov became part of the Shlichus.
But what happened in the first shlichus? It was to identify that the Svarim existed.
Oh, okay, good.
So then you did that.
Okay, let's start there. Good. We come there. We were VIP. Dr. Hammer's people. He said, "You can't come on my plane, but I'll get you the papers. I still have the passport because Russia was closed." He had a big office, big building in the middle of Moscow. Hammer. So we have to do. How do we now find what to do? Hammer says, "I spoke to everybody. Nobody lies to me. They're not here." I said, "I want to have a meeting together with the Minister of Culture. He's the one who holds the handle on the libraries." No problem, but it's not going to help you. It just doesn't exist. So I said they only have one person to go. So I was the one to go to a special place of the Minister of Culture. Before I left, I said to Shalom Bad, make for me a list. Make me a list. We have the catalog, by the way, of the books. We never lost it. All the Svarim in Russia, we have the catalog of. So I said, make me a list of which books are rare, at least 13 books. Very different one from the other. Very different. Some of them not expensive at all, very cheap. Some of them very expensive, a mishmash. We come in to this meeting. Other people were waiting there also. Barbara Walters from CBS was there. And somebody was playing the piano. I realized this is the end of the road. This is my chance. I have to settle in my pocket. Come in. Dr. Ham is also there, if I remember correctly. He was standing with two armed guards, the Minister of Culture, machine guns from both sides. Hammer was not there, excuse me. Mixing up another story. Meanwhile, before I went in, somebody with Barbara Walters was taking more time. I started to cry. Rebbe, I need you. This is the one chance we have. I have to settle. They call me in. I dry my eyes. He had a translator to translate. It's a pleasure to meet you. I also a pleasure to meet you. I said, I'm here because the Rebbe is my life. And the Rebbe's books are the Rebbe's life. I know these books. He says, look, I spoke already to Dr. Hammer. I told him they don't exist. I started to cry. He got confused. He says, what can I do to help you more? Take out the list. Find for me at least these 13 books in the Lenin Library. And then I threw myself at him to give him a hug. The guys with the guns started to lift the guns. I held him like this, big guy like a bear. Held him like this. I started to cry. He said, shh, I'll take care of it for you. Comes the next morning. We get a call from Dr. Hammer's office in Moscow. Go to the library. they found the 13 books. We come in, we go to the... Now listen, you have to understand, spoke Russian and understood to read Russian as well. I said, show me in the catalog these books. Opens it up, it says Polyakov, not shlichus'n. Polyakov brothers were two wealthy Russian Yidden that gave the Rebbe Shab a lot of money. They had shlichus to these Svarim like I have shlichus to the moon. That's the bottom line. So we figured out what happened here. Instead of putting the Svarim under the name shlichus'n, they hid them under the name Polyakov. That's how the fight to the Svarim began.
Mm-hmm. So you came back from the shlichus, you didn't get the Svarim, but we knew that the Svarim existed.
We know that it exists. Hammer says, now I'll get it. Don't worry about it. We're going to get it, we're going to get it, we're going to get it. Meanwhile, I said, you know what? B'derech klal, we were told, I may be mixing up two stories, but if I didn't, whatever. We were told not to go to Medina, Russia. We were people that were dangerous people. We were told to go to Medina, Russia. We went there.
Not to go?
First we were told not to go.
Uh-huh. By
Then,
who?
I'll tell you how we did go.
By who? By who?
Huh?
Who told you not to go?
We were told that our Mishlachas was told not to go to the Medina Russia Shul because we are dangerous people.
Who told you that?
Chodakov.
Chodakov said it.
So then, we found the books. Now, I get a call from Chodakov. Rebbe sagt, du sollst kommen zu fahren. Du sollst kommen zu fahren, you have to come. Schön nehmen a plane. I know the Rebbe's on the line. I said, ich habe genommen ein Neder, ich habe nicht weggehen von Russland und das Fahren. Quiet. And you hear the Rebbe overriding Chodakov. Man soll ihm sagen, als soll reingehen in Medina Russia, which we were told before not to go, gefühlen 3 Jiden und Mathe Neder sein und kommen zu fahren. We had already gone to numerous other cities looking for the Svarim before this conversation started. The main thing was where we found them was the stuff in Moscow. There are other places with some from the Rebbe Yitzchak we didn't find. We went to the Nepapatros, we went to Leningrad, we went to various cities to look. I fast forward, now I'm backing up. Never forget. I go to Medina Russia, I land. I was saying Kaddish for my father, Rabbi Shlomo Cunin. I'm standing there by Mincha, by the Yom Tadaven, and I started to sing. And standing by the Yom, they happened to me, I think I cooked and dog, and then went like this. The Dan Notzach, big to his eyes. Then the Rebbe called me into the office, Yechidus. Das was ich hab dir zurückgerufen, I called you back. Because the trial of the Weinberg estate, which is another long story with the Rebbe, $21 million gift that we got up in the Mile Derech HaTeva to be able to fulfill the Rebbe's promise. Es van der was springt durch het Gila Rebbe, so sicher, on tape. Wer weiß, wo wird landen, where he will land.
The Rebbe said about you.
Huh?
The Rebbe was talking about you.
Yes. Aber er hat gedacht, dass sie springen, weil andere springen, der 120 Jahren alter Mensch. Hat er gedacht, springen bis der Lavonie. Der Rebbe hat alles bezahlen, als was kommt. There's another long story with the Weinberg estate, $21 million. I'm not going to be here for a week, so we'll continue.
So the Rebbe told you to come back so you can attend.
Because the trial was coming to Monday. The trial was already,
California.
Yeah, they were going to court on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
It's a vision of all of this. I came back to California. I wanted to lie down to sleep a little bit. Just knocking on the door, my Aiden. Which the Rebbe, by the way, in Yechida said, "Geef me Yashikoch dein Aiden, Baruch echt." Was hat getragen, the last, ich habe the yoke of the Svarim die ganze Zeit, und du bist in Russland.
The yoke of California.
Yeah, of the monies.
Right.
We owed $18 million. Interest rates went up to 20%.
You owed it to the bank.
To the bank.
Mm-hmm.
Not one bank, 13 banks. Whatever the case is, he says to me, Shlomo, you have to stay here. I want to go to the Rebbe. You have to stay here. What is it? He started to cry. He said, the Rebbe's Nechai Mushkis are back. In the middle of all of this. But the same Rebbe's Nechai Mushkis told that Yudel, as soon as she was very much on top of the whole Svarim story with Russia. She told that Yudel, Shlomo gefunden des Svarim. Ich gedenk, wie sie haben ausgesehen in the Schranken, the bookcases, by the Rebbe Rashab. She was so excited.
She remembers. Mm.
Ich gedenk, wie sie haben ausgesehen. After that, Chol Beis Shvat. And then the story goes on and on and on and on.
So then there was another shlichus, like in an aleph. There was a second shlichus?
Right.
I guess after the fall of communism.
As I say like this, to spend on time here figuring out dates, we're not going to.
Right.
We have a booklet, which we'll give you so you can fix up whatever you need.
Yeah. So I have a question. So yes, I know there was a second shlichus. I think it was in Tafshin and Aleph. There was a Yechidus that the new group had, and that's
right.
also the Rebbe formed that Agudas Chabad in Russia.
Right. As I say again, I'm not very good with dates, but it's all printed.
Yeah, and a lot of it has been printed in the Derher as well. Sai our conversations, and Sai the story of Russia. And ultimately, I'm saying this is something that still needs to happen. The Danatzach of the Svarim in Russia, the issue returns. But I have a question for you regarding. So you said that Rabbi Chadakov appointed, or told that the Rebbe appointed you to be part of Agudas Chabad. I don't know if everyone is familiar. What is the function of Agudas Chabad? What does it mean, and why is it important?
The Rebbe Agudas Chabad was founded, as I said, with my Zayde in the Times and a few others. Jacobson, I don't remember the names of the others. It's public documents. And when the fight for this local Svarim here became the shlichus of Agudas Chabad locally, the fight. The court case was on the name of Agudas Chabad. Mm-hmm. Rebbe Yudel was the one fully in charge with this. And then he had Nat Lewin, so sein gesund. And that's how the fight began. The Hige fight.
About the library in 770.
About the library in 770. And that's what the first time Agudas Chabad was seen in a massive kingly road. And Rebbe made it clear that it's the differences of opinion between Shluchim. Agudas Chabad should figure it out, either them or Vadabon and Lubavitch. And numerous other things. That's all printed stuff. We have a meeting every week, every Wednesday. The members of the Agudas Chabad have a phone meeting. I'm sorry, not a phone. How do you call it?
Zoom.
A Zoom. I'm not very good at the current technology.
Yeah.
We have a meeting once a week. and we deal with many issues. That's very, very important to deal with.
Right, so the Rebbe wanted Agudas Chabad to be the body that deals with very important Lubavitch
Yeah,
issues.
for example, if there's a shliach, I'm not going to say which country, if there's a shliach whose husband died, and then the other people said, wait a second, your husband is dead. You have to cover the deficit like he did, because you claim you want to control. He said you should be the one. We have to deal with the issue. Mm-hmm. Numerous other things like this.
So you're saying this is something that the Rebbe, and I know also that after the Svarim, I think it was in Tafshin Nun, the Rebbe redid all the corporation, all the papers, and made all the members, and the Rebbe incorporated everything, made sure everything was up to date. The Rebbe put a lot of focus on establishing Agudas Chabad.
But the bottom line is, the Rebbe spoke clearly what the responsibilities of Agudas Chabad is. It's so important for the local people here. The local people, which I love all of them. I come here Shabbos Mevorchim. I love to see the people. The love is mutual, bochurishe, most of the time. But whatever the case is, everybody has to understand that you can't go doing things that are wild and say Hefgewalt. It's not a Hefgewalt. The Rebbe set up a system. If you believe that the Rebbe is the Rebbe, you have to follow this system. And if you don't believe, get yourself a job as a young Yisrael rabbi someplace. There are plenty of places that could use Chabad people. They have a typical in the world. 6,000 shluchim all over the globe. They have a typical in the world. We have in California 423 shluchim. Over 200 moisdes. Every time I come to 770, somebody comes over. Rabbi Shlomo, can I talk to you? I want to go shlichus'n to California. And we tell them the rules. Want to live by the rules, that's good. Don't live by good. Go to a different place.
Right.
And this is how they begin getting the shluchim. I'm very close to the shluchim. Very close.
Okay, so this is an important matter. Okay. One of the integral components of being a chassid are the chsiddishi Yom Tovim and Yom Pagra. Whether it's Hey Tevis, Yud Shvat, Yud Aleph Nisan, or Gimel Tammuz. These days give us an opportunity to connect with our Rabbeim, to connect with each other, and be better chassidim. What is the story behind each of these days? How did the Rebbe commemorate and celebrate these days? And most importantly, what are the lessons, the takeaways, and the action items Hamaisa Hua Ikr needed for each of these days? All of this and much, much more are answered in the new set recently published by Der Herr. Our Days is a journey through the Chabad calendar in story, meaning, and practice. With over 700 beautiful, glossy pages with elevated content, beautiful, beautiful photographs, you, your family, and friends will enjoy and live with each Chassidische Yom Tov. This book is a must for every Lubavitcher home, for every shul, for every school. It is a perfect gift item. This will not collect dust. It will be used day after day, month after month, year after year. You can have this set. Go to derher.org/Our Days. Order your set today and start living with Chassidische Yom Tov.
But one point I want to tell you again, and I said it before, I want to say it again. Mm-hmm. I solidly believe in any millisecond, we'll open our eyes, we will see the Rebbe standing in the steps of 770, Melubish Bekisa Shel Mashiach, coming to take us out of this, the last, the darkest of all the exiles. There never has been a man of such emunah pshuta, like the wonderful bochurim that I find with every Shabbos Mevorchim, till the lights go off. They are emunah, and they are simcha, and they are bitochen, since the whole Torah ist gegeben worden zu der Army Israel. Es ist nicht gewesen als teuer. Never been such a generation. They knock on the doors. I want to go off shlichus. For what? To have to raise your own budget? Have to travel miles to a mikveh till you build it? Why? Because they believe. It's all about belief. Emunah simcha b'tachon. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. And it's not easy. Not easy at all. On anybody. It isn't. Every day when you say, so many miracles that you do. And we work with Sarah, my toy, you call it Mecha. I'm not going to say, can we all clean the loch? And what do you say afterwards? B'Shem HaMalchus. Samach David Avdcha. Me'eres Atzmiach. Kane Torah Mishu Vasecha. Kede Shu Oscha Kivinu Kol Hayom. What does that mean? And more of that in Shemasa. You don't believe? Then make yourself believe. Go to the oil. The Rebbe is with us. Go to the oil. If you don't find an answer, I'll tell you a simple story. So I don't just take people because we have discipline, no chachmas. We haven't got it. If there's something wrong, you will go to this vat, to that vat, no vat. You want to work here? That's what the contract says. Either you listen and find what you're doing or you're out. So one time, a young couple, Bistel Simcha, a young couple comes to California, tied in. Hi, Rabbi Cunin, we want to go off shlichus. This is my wife. Fine. And we really want to go to a place that's on the ocean. That's where we want to go. A place on the ocean. We love the ocean. And so if you love the ocean, there's an ocean in Florida called Rabbi Kov, Olav Shalom, dear friend of mine, Olav Shalom. Tired, good friend. I've talked to him as sick as he was, practically till he died. Every day. That's what you're looking for? That's where you're going to go. You want to go, this is what I need. He looks at, we did our research on that place. It's like a desert. In the summer it could be 120 degrees. I said, look, that's why I'm offering you the shlichus. Either take it or leave it. Go there and see if you'll find the answer on the Rebbe. Tired of Yidden, they enter the car, they go. Oh, a while later, a day later, my phone was ringing me. We saw the Rebbe's hand. We went to a 7-Eleven to get some cold water in the city. Somebody comes over to us and says, the Rebbe sent you to me. I'm becoming more and more religious. I love the Rebbe. But how can I have the Rebbe? I graduated past this point. I need, the Rebbe should send me someone. You, that was sent to me by the Rebbe. Could you put that in rational writing? It's not over yet. They come back, okay. Now go to the oil. Why not settle to the oil? The way you do it, the way I do it is, first you write your settle, go to the mikveh, put on the gadol, realize you're talking to the Rebbe. Write your settle. When you walk in, the first thing you do is look at the screen. If you don't find an answer in 10, 15 minutes, then go to the oil. Pour your heart out. If you didn't find an answer at the oil, when you come out, look at the screen again. I'll do it. Bissel simcha. Calls me up. This is a very, very subtle person, not a Shlomo Cunin. Gets excited like this. Calls me up. Rabbi Cunin. Shh, tell me what happened. I looked at the screen when I came in, no answer. I went to the oil, I felt something very positive, but I still have no answer. I walked out, and what did I see? Dad was talking to somebody. geh nicht, hab nicht gemeldet zu gehen in der Midbar Shmama. Weil dort haben die Jiden gegangen und Mekabel gewinnt der Teure. Have no fear to go a desolate desert. Because that's where the Jews came, and that's how they received the Mishkan and the Torah V'chol.
So I have a question regarding. So you mentioned a lot of things, $8 million loans, $18 million debts, and you're saying that again besimcha mit bitachin. Was it ever hard to do this? Did the Rebbe ever tell you something about these?
If it was
matters?
hard to get the money,
No, to continue going.
I'd have gesagt, that's our continuous story. Now that we have some time. First we'll say l'chaim.
Chaim levracha.
It's only water with honey.
Chaim.
After the Sikha,
Which sicha?
it was Yud Gimel Tishrei, I believe, or Yud Gimel Nissen.
But the lechatchila Rebbe.
Yeah. What I did right away is go out knocking on doors. Hi, I need $1 million. The big reading.
Because you had $18 million debt, basically.
$18 million debt.
Okay.
And now the interest rate went up to 20%. Figure that out.
Mm-hmm.
Der Rebbe zugesagt, alles können bezahlen. But you got to do something about it. Knock on doors, knock on doors, knock on doors. Meanwhile, 1980, there was a fire that burnt the building down. First Chabad house in the world on a college campus. Because when we Rebbe sent us to California, first thing we did was Mesilas Shabbos. Then we opened up a global war to open up Islam, which we succeeded. Then we had an afternoon Talmud Torah. But then I was invited, before all this happened, going back a little bit, I was invited. We're sitting in our house, getting $75 a week to eat and to run the organization with, $75 a week.
From Rabbi Chadakov.
Yes, from the Maccas. My wife, Davidson, was my secretary. She had one medala on the knee, taken care of, and doing the work has to be done. So she says, Tati, you should take this phone call. Sounds very important. Hi, I'm from Temple Isaiah, big Reform Temple. Yes. Can I help you? Yes. The Sioux Indians were supposed to come this Sunday. That's an Indian tribe from many years ago. They were supposed to come to speak to the graduation class, teenage kids. Confirmation, it's called. They canceled. And they were supposed to come to talk about a vanishing tribe, because they're all dying out. You are from the Hasidim, you are also dying out. You're also dying out. Most of you were killed in Europe. I'm listening. Do you speak enough English to be able to address this group? I said, I think so, a little bit. So you think you could speak enough? Yes, I think so. Okay, come Sunday, this and this time. I'd fill up a lawyer's briefcase with pairs of film, tea lights for the Meidalach.
There was a Jewish group.
Huh?
It was a Jewish
Temple
group.
Isaiah.
Temple Isaiah, okay, yeah.
One of the biggest Reform temples still today.
Mm-hmm.
I come there. Nobody greets me. African American or cleaning guy, just come in, please go in. I go in. Somebody walks in, big tall guy. Hi. He says, I'm Rabbi Lewis. I understand you speak enough English that you would be able to talk to them. Do you really think so? If I really think so, I speak a better English than you do. You speak in English from Hamburg, Germany, where you became a rabbi. I speak in English with a Bronx accent from the Yankee Stadium. If I can speak English, of course I can. You will come to my office after you finish, okay? No, I took me on the film, missing the Machayim. He comes storming in. What is this? You should know you're a rabbi. It's tefillin. What are you doing in the heads of my kids? I said, you asked me to come to speak. That's how I speak. Without that, how could I be able to speak to them? You will come to my office. Come to the office. Before I get in, there's an African-American secretary. I said, I'm going to see the rabbi. She said, you have an appointment to see him? Yes, I do. I walked in. I used very strong language, telling him, how dare you treat another person like this? He started to cry. We became Amish gute Freund. He said, I will get you appointments to speak to the Hillel groups on the college campuses. He became a Yedid Nefesh, reform rabbi. That's how I entered into the colleges. Mm-hmm. Now, go to UCLA and talk to the kids were hippies, hippiches. You could smell them before you could see them. Long hair. That was the 60s. I was invited to speak. We hit it off together because they were crazy and they felt I was crazy. So good match. Started to come to the house. So one Friday night, Leil Shabbos, we took mattresses off our beds and we put them on the living room floor, and the hippies would come, the girl hippies, feed them, make Shabbos. Then my Rebbe would talk to them a lot. Next week, the boys would come, take them to shul with me, a block away, Rabbi Ginsburg, all shul. But it was getting out of hand. The landlord says, you can't do this. You really can't. I said, but I have to. I'm shortening a whole long story. Bottom line is, we went to another place that said, you can't. Then finally I said, you know something? I'm well accepted at Hillel, because I became very friendly with the rabbi there, the campus Hillel rabbi. I got to find a place near the campus. I don't have a penny. Okay, we get into an army surplus truck that we would pull the trailer, the mobile classroom that I had, mitzvah tank. Now, we're driving around the truck, I see that building is great. It's right across the street. Those years, the fraternity houses were taken over by the hippies. So most fraternities went out of business because there doesn't match a fraternity with the Moker HaChaim of the hippies, two different worlds. Make a long story short, we stop, I get the telephone number. Okay, boys, who has a dime? We have to go to the Safeway and call Marvin Goldsmith over show, dear friend, also real estate broker. Avram Levitanski over show says, I don't. Victor Kurtzman over show, I don't. And I don't. How we to call the broker to buy a building? We had soda bottles left, 5 cents a bottle, deposit. And that we gave the kids for the release time. I said, we have the soda bottles, we'll give them into Safer, we'll get money, we'll call. Call Marvin Goldsmith, shortly a very long story. I told him what my cheshbon is, it should be $2,250,000. He looked at me with a smile on his face. I told you, you're not good at math. It's not $2,250,000. It's only $250,000. I said, Mazel Tov, we made $2 million in your house. He started to laugh. where are you going to get $250,000? Shortly, a very long story with the Rebbe, because every time I wanted to do something, you went to Yechidus with the Rebbe. We had no shul. There was Rabbi Tasha, very friendly with Rabbi Reich. He said, I want to give you the shul. You should give me a few $1,000s a month in Israel so I could live there. They never had no children. I go in the Yechidus, Rebbe says, Shleime, a shul, wie ist sich so halten?
The Rebbe asked.
Wonder, how's it going to support itself, the shul? Well, the Rebbe uses reasons not to fry your brains, but gives you a logical reason, which I really don't need, but it makes no difference. Come to another situation, the swimming school on Robertson Boulevard, which today we have a big shul on Robertson, Chabad house on Robertson Boulevard. It's up for sale. Great idea. Swimming Talmud Torah. Swimming Talmud Torah. The girls will come, the boys will come from 8 to 10. 8 to 9, they will study. 9 to 10, they'll swim. 10 o'clock, quarter after 10, the girls will come with girl counselors. First, they will swim, then they'll learn for an hour. Great idea. It pays for itself. Okay, come into the office. I put all the cheshbonis from Goldsmith, how it pays for itself. Shleim, was hat man sagen? Zuerst gekommen, ein junger Mann da in die Stadt. Und es scheint ausgegeben $100,000. Schleime, tu da.
The Rebbe's rejecting your ideas.
The Rebbe wants something else. Then the building came up, aha! The Rebbe embraced it with two hands. When we came to give the Rebbe the key, I'm not going to go to all the miracles, how we got the money.
So at that time, there was no prototype to follow. This is how you make a shlichus.
Right.
It didn't exist. Yeah.
That's whatever. We went to Shurim. The Rebbe said yes. And no. And subsequently, the Rebbe said, when we gave him the key to Marvin Goldsmith by a Fabring, the Rebbe said, the Binyan schreibt, das ist ein Chabad house. Why do we do Chabad house? Because what would the kids on the college campus understand? Lubavitch, it's a city. Wisdom, understanding, and knowledge, wow. Mm-hmm. Chabad, that's how it started. It was only Lubavitch houses, whatever it was. So whatever the case is, we go to give the Rebbe the key. The Rebbe looks up at Marvin and says, to which Chabad house is this? He's a big lawyer, worked in the Attorney General's office. He says, Rebbe, there's only one. The Rebbe says, don't be so humble. It will spread from the west to the north, which is San Francisco. I'm just telling you what it is, what we're talking about. From the north to the south, which is Diego. From the south to the east, where we really need them. You should call them all by the same name, Chabad House. So when a person comes into Chabad House and then moves to another city, he opens up the telephone book and looks for the words Chabad House. You should call them all by the same name. That's how the movement started. And all the miracles that we got the money, I'd be here for 3 weeks, not 1 week, explaining all the story.
Well, yeah, what happened in Tafshin Mem when Rebbe and you started knocking on doors and asking for $1 million?
Oh, you're going, when the Rebbe told us, slowly.
Yeah, you were in the middle of saying that.
Okay. When the Rebbe said the Sikha, so right away the next thing is, the next morning, we were knocking on doors with Emunah. Come back to California, knock on doors. Now, we already had a telethon. This is after the telethon, when we raised money. So you go look at the big names, right? With big monies, that's where you go to. Wherever we went, slam, dunk. Finally, it was a real, gewaltige, big company that they gave us $10,000 at a telethon. I think this is what we're going to do. And if you call a Gvi, you never get an appointment. You knock on the door, it's a different story. Whatever the case is, I never go alone knocking on doors because maybe there'll be a woman. She can't do that. Oh, the shades are open. In the West Coast, we tell you, if the shades are open, if your wife is in the kitchen, you are not going to sit and teach a woman or a girl alone. So then if somebody walks in and says, hi, Rabbi, I have to learn with you today because my husband has a bad cold. Then what you do is, so do I. My wife will have to teach you. I don't allow it. We don't allow it here. Should be no place allowed. No place allowed. If there's 3 or 4 of them together, fine. But one-on-one, no way. That's our policy. Going back to where we were before. Where were we?
You were saying that you can't get an appointment. Yeah, big
right.
people.
No, I come there. I come there with my Eidim.
You said you go with your Eidim. Okay.
Yes, I go with my Eidim. Ring the bell. Gigantic castle. Who are you here to see? I tell them the name. Do you have an appointment? No. But she's a contributor. Please come in. With a shmatei on his arm. That's the way they live in Beverly Hills. This little thing comes out 4.5 feet tall. What are you doing here? I said, what do you mean? You sent me $10,000. But what are you doing in my house? I said, give me a chance. I want to talk to you. No, I'm not interested to talk to you. But give me 5 minutes. She goes, psss. This big gigantic dog comes. She says, you see the dog? You're not getting out of here. He'll bite you. I said, he'll bite me. I'll bite him back. I'm not afraid. Let's continue talking. She says, no. Because if not, I'll bring out a few more. Then I'll call the police. That's the time you know she really means it. Okay. So what do you do after that? Sit down and cry? No. You continue to knock on doors. That's what you do. Now you got to remember that this comes after another chiddush on the phone that we had. Because 2 things come before. After the Rebbe's Sikha, shortly after, the Chabad house had burned down. So I would take the homeless upstairs in my house. They would come. Upstairs in my house. Never to turn someone away. This guy comes, well-dressed. So I need a place to stay. So of course. Go upstairs. Come in the morning. I'll give you some coffee, some cake, which we would do. A couple of days go by. You see, he's a very sophisticated person. Bernstein. Very sophisticated person. He said, a couple of days go by. He says, Rabbi, you want to know something? You saved my life. I have a gigantic business in Alaska. I have a private jet. My wife has a private jet. We would fly to Seattle from Alaska to do whatever you have to do and fly back to Alaska. One time, usually I would fly, if I'm flying, I would take the wife with me. This time I was so busy, so I said to my wife, why don't you go take our daughter with, we'll spend the week there, and you will fly with your jet. I'll come in a little bit later and join you. She says, okay. Then he says, I get the news, the plane crashed, she got killed together with my daughter. You saved my life. Yechi. So I want to tell you, I'm a multi-millionaire. I owe you everything. Mazel tov. Mazel tov, mazel tov. Call the banks, the answer's coming. It's here. It's incredible. Tell me, what do you do? I'm building a school. Come over to the yeshiva, middle of building Chabad. Another story with the Rebbe you'll remind me about after we finish this. Very important. I want to see the school. Go to the school. This is too cheap. Order these things instead of those. These things instead of those. I'll give you the money. I have all the money in the world. So now I tell the banks, the main bank, I said, you know what, I'm going to get $5 million now. And you'll see, from there you'll be able to help. He'll continue to help. Good. Bernstein, hi, you told me about all the big monies. I need $5 million now to give the bank. I told him, the main bank. He said, I'll get it to you. I said, well, I'd like to get it today as a wire. He said, I can't do a wire because it's cash that I'm going to give you. I said, that's fine. So when am I getting it? You're getting it tomorrow. What time will I get it? I don't know, morning, early afternoon. This is Thursday already. No, where's the money? He says, it's coming. It'll be here Friday. Saying, come to the house for Shabbos. It didn't come. What happened to the money? It got stuck in the plane, got stuck with the cash. I smelled already something. But I believe. I said, listen to me. Either you will bring the money Saturday night, like you say, or don't ever, ever come back to this house. I never, ever want to see you. The Almighty God wanted to show me a test that my belief is in place, which I told you the story with the Rebbe. And if not, don't you ever come back here again. That was the last time I ever saw him. Okay, fine. Now we're ready in the new building, the new Chabad house, very raw. But we had a few officers, secretary. Called, but have to say on the man. I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Back up. It was before our anniversary, Yudalat Kislev. I was supposed to go Yudas Kislev to Rebbe. He says, for your anniversary, I want to take you and your wife to dinner at the Milky Way.
This is the same guy?
Same guy.
Yeah.
That's before. That's the end of the story. Mm-hmm. How I knew it came to an end.
Okay.
I want to take you to the kosher restaurant. I want to pay the bills. Come to the restaurant. He orders fancy wine, stuff like that. I don't do this pachal. I don't let nobody take me personal things, restaurants, this, that. But I had to with my wife. He orders this, orders that. I order just a few simple things. And the waitress comes with a bill turned upside down, Kenogil, on the tray. Gives him the tray. He looks at it, $100 and some odd. I didn't bring my wallet. I haven't got a credit card. I have no money. Then I knew it was over. Then I told him the story at night, as I told you before. So now, all the banks are go crazy with some sugar. Sugar's like geld. Went to the Rebbe gave me a nickel. The Rebbe said, oh, 5 million. I found some Rebbe. The Rebbe cookie gave me 5 million for $5 million. Next thing, we get mit Amuna. Staying there. Very, very tight. Receptionist tells me, hi.
Who told you?
Huh?
Who told you?
My receptionist.
Receptionist.
The initial calls that come in. Greets the people. Someone here to see you. He says he wants to help you. Here we go again. He gave me his card. It says Senior Vice President, Citigroup, Citicorp, the big bank, International Bank, Senior Vice President. He come into the office. He said, I want to tell you, I know what you do. Nobody does what you do. And I know you're in a lot of financial trouble. You should only own the spiritual part of this organization. I had a life-threatening story happen to me. I said I only want to do charitable work. I will handle the money. I know you're in a lot of trouble. Okay? He says, so I'm going to start handling it, okay? Call up the banks. I sent copies of the card, Senior Vice President. Better White was shown. We owed a lot of money. He was in New York, so I'm going to go see his office. Shlomo, he's a going. As a giant, he says, get. Fold him. Fine. Tell everybody this is the way it's going to work. He hires secretaries. He lends us some money, hires secretaries. Then the people start coming from Citigroup to look over all the books. I had women, 2 other ladies, to go through these things. Yechi, this is it. Now, he lived in New Jersey. He worked in New York. So Purim is coming. So he said, you know what, I'd like to go meet the Rebbe. I said, you can come to the Farbrengen on Purim. And the whole time we're keeping the Rebbe abreast of all of this. On the phones, etc. I think I didn't tell you something before, which I should have. When the Bernstein thing came apart, every morning I would sing, and then from there, but after the Bernstein story, I put on tassels and I started to cry. I'm mixing up 2 stories. It makes no difference, straighten it out. That happened after the second one. I was right in the first place. So then, we go to scrap of what I just said. That comes on the second guy. You could cut this out of them.
Yeah.
So what happens is, Menei Sadun comes into my office. That's his name. He tells me what to do and all of this. Hired secretaries and people come, as I told you before. And now, he wants to go to the Rebbe. I said, good, I'm going for Purim. I'll meet you in New York. The whole time we're keeping the Rebbe updated every day what's going on. Very strong. Rebbe Yiftiach, Rebbe Yikayin. Strong. So now, I take Sadun, we meet him in New York. His wife also came, big limousine. I never sat behind the Rebbe, ever, by Farbrengen. Always in front. Sitzen behind the Rebbe, not for me. This time, I had to give here to take him over to the Rebbe with Alachaim. So after the first sikha, I said to come, we'll go over to the Rebbe. Go over to the Rebbe. I said, Rebbe, this is Nei Sadun. He is saving the Rebbe's institutions. He smiles and says, yes, I'm doing that. I'm saving the institutions. The Rebbe looks at him and says, you should have a peaceful life. You should have a peaceful life. Oops. Renee, you're pale. Come, we have to go. You don't feel good. I'm okay. No, you're not. I'm looking at you. Come. Took him off. Took him to the back of the shul. Had someone go upstairs, one of my kids at the Tach, my Chanel was taking care of the wife. Come down. We were supposed to fly together. 2 days after, I was supposed to wait in New York. First thing in the morning, I get a plane back. I go into, he never let us talk to any of these people, the bankers or anything else. One lady was against a machatim. I come in, I said, hi. I'm supposed to be here with Renee, he's still in New York. But a few things I want to ask you about the $10 million grant that we're getting from Citigroup. She says, grant? What kind of grant? Who told you you're getting a grant? It's a loan. But only if you could bring your big man. Jerry Weintraub is the guarantor. said, if me and Jerry Weintraub, what do I need you for? And we know you know Arm and Hammer. They'll guarantee, no. But we're not going to give you a dime. The next morning, ich stehe, I start to cry. Now I have to deal with him yet, who's controlling everything, hired all these people. So what do? I call up, I thought we became the Rebbe. And I started to cry. Never done it before. The Rebbe says, men soll fragen bei ihm. Sie ist bekannt mit der Hafteure von Kelim Reichen. Also ich bin bekannt. Man soll ihn fragen. Ich habe es doch in der Welt, aber es heißt, man soll ihn fragen. Was für ein Kelim Reichen hast du? Arm und Hammer. Der Rebbe Jack Weintraub, a full page ad in the New York Times, everything I say, Ich habe 2 gesunde Fisch, ich will gehen mit der Muna, Simcha betochen, bis ich gefühl in dem Lebensnetz. That's how we then start to go door to door.
That's how you started raising money.
Really big time. But no, that's how we started not getting any money. So we come to one place. How much? What time is it now?
Yeah, now you have to finish. So finish this off, and we'll finish with this.
What time is it now?
It's 9:15. So
I gotta go.
So we have to finish the sentence.
I'll finish the sentence. Making a long story short.
Yeah.
We knocked on all the doors. Said no. We knocked on one door. A long story. I'll tell you at a different time. But the bottom line is, this woman passed away and left the third of her estate to Chabad. And we got, ultimately, after a big fight with the Rebbe's Mufsim, we got $21 million.
No.
Cash.
Shliach Rabbi Cunin, and this is the message for everyone. Shliach.
The most important thing.
You have to speak into the mic.
Huh?
You have to speak into the mic. Speak into the mic.
The main important thing is, der Rebbe kommt nicht nur so raus von Golos. Darf starken die Emunah, Betochen und Simcha. Und mit das tun wird uns solche sein gleich. So the Gula mit ist Hashlema, hu yelichenu mehera, kam mir ist Atzenu, Lamata, Asora Tzochim an, Pshotim und Pshetlach. Te da Notzach, hay da Notzach, Azevitzan.
Shliach Rabbi Cunin.